Welcome to Talk Law Radio with attorney Todd Marquardt of the Marquardt Law Firm at marquardtlawfirm.com.
Welcome back to Talk Law Radio. I'm Todd Marquardt. This is Adam Turcotte. He's with 10X Arms, and we're going to be talking about firearm law today. I just want to let you know, Adam, we are on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, 6:30 a.m. The Word in San Antonio. Also KNTH 1070 in Houston or 103.3 FM in Houston. Isn't that exciting?
All right. Good area.
So, Adam, you've been on the show before, but just in case we have some new listeners, tell us about your background and how you got interested in firearms.
Oh, well, thanks for having me again. It's been a while. I was in the military for 8 years, did a couple of combat tours and whatnot, and after that, worked here at one of the local gun stores and really enjoyed the firearms industry and a lot of the people I met there. But while I was working there, I noticed the demand for gunsmiths. There's a high demand. It's definitely a field that's shrinking and needs people. So I went to the Colorado School of Trades and got my degree through them and came back to San Antonio. And now here we are, 10 years in the industry and busy as ever. So
yeah,
it's good.
Tell us more about the Colorado School of Trades. What drew you to them?
I knew one of my sergeants that I had in the Army. He ended up becoming the president of the school, and so through connections, talked to him, and he was like, "Hey, you probably should check this out. You might be pretty good at it." And so I went checked it out. It was great. I like their working with people, face to face, and having kind of the mentor looking over your shoulder, making sure you're doing it right. I like that mentality of it. They give you a good foundation. Like all things, it depends on what you do with it. How much you want to continue your education beyond that and learn from other places, other things. But it gave me a good foundation to be able to have the confidence to kind of step out on my own and come back and serve San Antonio.
Some of the techniques that you learned are unique to them. They teach you the old school ways,
the old school
don't
way.
they?
Yes. It's if you could take some of the foundational knowledge of the old school and then utilize modern tooling and techniques, it gives you a better understanding from the ground up,
And so tell us, what are you talking about with the old school way of doing things? Walk us through a project.
The old school could be, you're working with files and you're taking small measurements and, little bits at a time. Whereas if you turn around now and we have CNC machining, and you can get, like if I'm chambering a barrel, there's the old school way of chambering a barrel, and then there's some of the newer techniques when it comes to the precision rifle world that, hey, you need to have these kind of toolings to be able to achieve tighter tolerances. So that's where you're taking the old school foundation, but improving upon that for better results today. Because with the CNC world now, if you're not getting sub-MOA rifles, then something's really wrong, Whereas that used to be something to really, that was a big deal. Hey, I have a sub-MOA rifle. That's great. Nowadays, if you don't have that, then okay, something's going on. Somebody didn't do their job right. Something wasn't engaged properly. So, yeah, it's now is the expectation. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you went to school. Now you've been doing gunsmithing. What do you do for fun?
I like to get out and hunt and shoot, to take my daughter. I've been getting her into the rifle game more, and she's been getting out there in the field with me a little bit. That's been a good, enjoyable time, be able to see her kind of mature in that area and enjoy it with me, She's a good shot. She's done very well for herself.
Yeah, and she's a good shot?
Oh, yeah. She one of the things about this industry and what I do is you get to meet a lot of good people, so I'll be invited out to ranches and whatnot of some of my good clients. And now that she's grown up enough, I'm able to take her with me, and they like to drive around, and that's a great one right there. So she loves it. It's great.
Yeah, I hunted with my daughter a couple of times. At first, she just had to come because, there was nobody at home to watch her.
Yeah.
And so eventually she became interested enough to want to get a whitetail. And she did. She has one shoulder mounted on the wall. Mm-hmm. She likes to hang her necklaces on its antlers.
Well, there you go. That's good. Yeah. Special touch. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we recently, last year for hunting season, we put together a custom build 7mm 08 and so she got to be a part of that, and selected the stock that fit her because she's tiny, but made it where it fit her to her size, and she picked out the color and everything, chambered the rifle and everything for her, and so that's her special, unique tool that she's able to take out there and have fun with. Yeah.
And when she first started shooting, was she bothered by the recoil?
Not so much, because I started her on 22 bolt action, and graduated up. She shot some of my larger rifles, but they all have silencers on them, so the recoil is never something that's been that big of an issue for her.
Okay, well, tell us about the physics of why that is. How is it that a suppressor reduces the pain of the recoil?
Well, it could take around, they estimate around 40% of the recoil is absorbed by a silencer, because you're not having all that gas, go out the front and push back against you. It's helping absorb a lot of that. And so that's part of why silencers are so popular in Texas and in hunting and in the precision rifle world is, the recoil, you're able to get back on your target a lot faster, and hearing. Yes, we all like to hear beyond age 30, so that definitely helps in that.
Yeah. Okay, well, so that's an advantage of a suppressor, and we definitely want to talk about the law regarding the suppressor. We're here on Talk Law Radio talking with Adam Turcotte. He's a gunsmith with 10X Arms, and we're talking about suppressors now, because in the beginning, God had one law: don't eat from the fruit of that tree. Then he gave Moses the 10 Commandments. And now we have municipal, state, and federal lawmakers that won't stop creating new laws that impact you without you knowing it. So tune in to Talk Law Radio on Saturday mornings, Sunday afternoons, and you can find us on YouTube anytime when you're walking the dog, washing the dishes, or working in the garage. Okay, so there's been a change with the regulations of suppressors recently. There used to be a $200 tax that you had to pay when you were filing an application to purchase a suppressor, and now it's a zero tax.
Right.
And so how has that affected your work?
I do a lot of barrel threading because, they removed the barrier of the $200 tax. The silencer demand has definitely gone up. And the industry, you're seeing a lot of 3D printed suppressors. That's definitely changed the game, to where they're able to do some tech, builds that are definitely not as simple as the old cup baffle style. Now they're able to do a lot with moving gases. And because of that, like I said, barrel threading, I do a lot of it.
So you said a 3D printed suppressor?
3D printing, yes. They could 3D print Inconel and titanium and everything, and they're able to...
with metal?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically like a laser welding of metal dust, and they're able to build up a silencer with cavities that just they were not able to do before by your standard manufacturing. So because of that, it's just another thing where things run better. It's bringing down the cost on some stuff, but not having the $200 tax stamp has definitely helped in the demand for silencers. So you're having a lot more manufacturers pop up and trying to meet that demand.
Have you seen one of those laser machines that can weld metal together?
Mm-hmm. It's pretty impressive. There's some videos on YouTube where you can see the technique of it, and it's pretty cool. It's the future. It's like the old school cans. I mean, yes, they'll still be around, but they're going to get cheaper and cheaper as things transition more to the 3D printed side of things.
Yeah, how much would one of those cost?
I mean, you could see off the top of my head, you'll probably be in the $850 range to, I mean, you could be in the $1,500 easily.
Oh, for the suppressor.
For the silencer
I was
itself,
talking about the machine.
Oh, the machine? Oh, no, they're in the 50 to 100 plus easily. Yeah. Depending on how big and how much you want it to be able to make. I mean, because you can make one at a time, or you can make a plate and it'll have, 5 on it, if not more.
And so what's the rule on the manufacturer of a suppressor? Does it have its own serial number?
Yes, everything has their own serial number. You have to submit all your paperwork ahead of time, and once it's approved, then you're able to make your stuff. It's there's a lot of regulations behind it, of course. Like all things, the stack of rules and laws just goes up. Mm-hmm. But I mean, there's manufacturers that are stepping up and they're keeping up with everything.
And so if somebody's interested in getting a suppressor, where do they start? Do they contact a federal firearm licensee?
Yes, those that have an SOT, a special occupancy tax, with Class 3, be able to do Class 3 transactions, which I am, just because I deal with silencers and threading and everything else so much. It's good to have that ability. But yeah, that's it. Talk to somebody like me that knows that world, can kind of get the process going and walk you through the paperwork and the fingerprints and the passport photo, and whether you want it to be in a trust or individual. After they got rid of the $200 tax stamp, that kind of opened the floodgates a little bit for people to get into. They've changed the way that they do the approvals now. They've definitely streamlined that, where gone are the 9 months wait. Now we're more like 25 days. Individuals 6 days. It's the process has sped up and become much easier.
Wow, that's great. We got to take another break. When we come back, we'll be talking about the sinners and the saints. And again, this is Talk Law Radio. I'm Todd Marquardt here with Adam Turcotte with 10X Arms, talking about firearms law. If you have a question, post it on Facebook right now. Maybe we'll be able to get to your question. Or call the show, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. We'll be right back.
This has been Talk Law Radio with attorney Todd Marquardt, brought to you by the Marquardt Law Firm. You can learn more at marquardtlawfirm.com. And be sure to listen to the full Talk Law Radio show Saturday mornings at 11 on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Most families don't realize they have hidden legal blind spots until it's too late. Wills, trusts, Medicaid planning, even protecting a business. These are the kinds of issues attorney Todd Marquardt helps uncover before they become problems. Todd is the host of Talk Law Radio, where each week he guides listeners through the legal challenges families, veterans, and business owners face, while showing them the practical steps to protect what matters most. Catch Talk Law Radio, Saturdays at 11 a.m. on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, 6:30 a.m. The Word, and now in Houston on AM 1070 and 103.3 FM The Answer, or anytime on YouTube. Planning isn't just about documents. It's about peace of mind, security for loved ones, and building a legacy that lasts. Don't wait for a crisis. Do it before you die.